is Fall Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for FanSided. I'm joined today by a man who knows that you got to win games on offense, on defense, and on special teams. Cody Williams, content director, fansided.com. Georgia got an onside kick to kick Texas's ass. Horns down forever. How are you?
Dude, the balls on Kirby are just like he's dragging those things around the hedges. Like that's what he's doing.
He's the he's the Stan Marsh between the hedges, dude.
That's right, man. 100%. I'm doing good, man. It's been a long day, but it's been a fun day. Honestly, I'm still thinking about the kid that kicked the kick on College Day this morning and how bad it was, and more importantly that he attempted it in Jinko jeans. Like, did you see the jeans that kid was wearing?
Pitt's another world, man.
It really, really is. He had soccer cleats and the Jinkos working, and it was just unbelievable.
I mean, he put about as much effort into that kick as Pat Narduzzi put into trying to win that game. What an absolute clown show and embarrassment that was.
Talk about mailing it in, man. It was a day to behold, that's for sure.
It was a debatable hold here. You got something right, and I got something right, which means
hmm
we both win, even though we both got something wrong, which is cool.
We're not talking about that part of it. We both got something right. That's what we need to talk about.
And I'm going to get started with what I got right. I'm going to run with the first topic here today, here on 3 Yards and a Cloud of Punt. I'm running with Georgia as a serious national title contender, and I'm also running with Notre Dame as a serious playoff contender. Getting very close to lock territory, I would say, for the Irish.
hmm Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be. I truly don't know what would have to happen for the Irish to not be there, especially with some other results that we are going to talk about. But like, it just the biggest threat to the Irish not making the playoff as an at-large team would be Miami as an at-large team because of the head-to-head result. But like, I just don't see a world where Miami's able to climb up to where they make that an argument.
No, the Notre Dame has no more resume builders here with Syracuse at home and then at Stanford. Both teams are on. We've already poured one out for both of those
hmm
teams. So I'll get back to Notre Dame in a second. I got to talk
Yeah,
about Georgia. Just like I never really felt nervous with the Texas game all week long. There were some points where I'm like, the team's gonna play with their food. Really, kind of once CJ Allen went out, I was like, that's gonna be an issue. I think
Mhm.
his hamstring don't work too good no more. And God, give Raylan Wilson the green dot. I mean, he's like the Lenore Sellers of offense, or what he Lenore Sellers was last year. Lenore Sellers might need to go to a rubber room now after today.
second half of the Norris Sellers and first half of the Norris Sellers today are two very different people, and I'm not sure what to make of that.
Inside of us, there are two wolves.
It's a two wolf situation in the truest sense.
So I'll give my Georgia sense, and you can respond and
Yeah,
add whatever you want to hear. It's I don't think anybody in the country wants to play this team right now,
no.
and I don't think they're going to make it to Atlanta, which is kind of a
Um,
load of kind of a load of crap, but that's okay.
so I will say this, like I'll respond to you, like you can finish your point, but I will say this, if Texas were to beat Texas A&M, which I still don't think is out of the question based on what we saw today from Texas A&M, which I'll unpack that a little bit more
hmm
later. That's actually most likely going to give you a Georgia-Alabama rematch in the
hmm
SEC championship game because of the cumulative conference winning percentage of opponents. And like Georgia and Alabama have a massive advantage over A&M in that category.
Okay, I was wondering what that was. I think it's also common opponent. They only share four common opponents, maybe. I forget who it is. It's probably Mississippi State. Mississippi State plays everybody and
Yeah,
loses. It's
unfortunately,
good.
yeah, Mississippi State gets the raw end of the deal in the SEC.
But it's like you beat Texas if you're Georgia, and if A&M loses, then that's how you get there
Mhm.
for a rematch, which will scare the ever living hell out of me. But they weren't Georgia was not running the ball very well until the very end, and they figured it out with Nate Frazier. Healthiest the offensive line's ever been. I think during the pregame, Sam Ferris is like, it's healthiest it's ever been, and the center's got one and a half good working hands.
Hey, I mean, it's all on a sliding scale.
But yeah, definitely the most excited bit about a win thus far this season, more so than Tennessee and Ole Miss. I don't know. It just felt like they just went out there and they just ripped the soul out of Texas, and it was just Jeff Banks. Just it was not a good day for special teams across
No.
the board.
No, it certainly wasn't. And like I think the two things I came away with thinking about Georgia, and like one of them I'm still not like sold on, but like I was curious to see what Georgia's defensive front, which I think has underperformed again this season to some degree, which I think is more of a Glenn Schumann thing than I think is a talent thing. But they made Arch Manning's life hard tonight. And like Texas' offensive line has been a problem. If there was a matchup to take advantage, that's what Georgia needed to do. And by God, they did it. And so, like, I want to give kudos there. And like, if Georgia's defensive front is going to be able to get that kind of push, then like, this is a different team. This is a different team that can win an even dip. Like, I've already praised Georgia this season for the different ways that they can win football games. If their defense can play at that level, that gives them another way that they can win football games. The other side of it is Kirby Smart just ran circles around Steve Sarkisian tonight. Like it, and like that shouldn't, that's not like the most shocking revelation in the world by any stretch of the imagination. We know what big game Sark is, and it's not really normally that pretty. But at the same time, like right when Texas seemed to be getting momentum and seemed to be like trying to put a scare into Georgia, Kirby Smart said, I'm going to put an end to this nonsense. Absolutely not. We're not having it.
I'm gonna beat you up.
That's right.
So they always, because Kirby Smart's defensive coordinator, they also show Schumann because we're trying to prop up this guy for some reason. But they also show Bobo up in the booth and he's getting fired up. I can't recall during the telecast if they even showed the offensive coordinator for Texas or anything like that. You show Kukowski, you show Jeff Banks on special teams because those guys have very important and defined roles here. But like when you have an offensive minded head coach and you're trying to become a CEO type,
Mhm.
you kind of pull away from that. And that kind of got Kalen DeBoer in trouble today.
Mhm.
This is kind of what's hurt Lincoln Riley in the past. Lincoln Riley hasn't really fully developed into that, but like Kirby's like, it's the exact opposite of the NFL, where you need to have an offensive guy like Andy Reid to draw it up in the dirt and figure something out, as opposed to Raheem Morris just standing there with his hands in his pockets or Jason Garrett just clapping. You got to
Mhm.
have. It feels like that. You're right, though. Kirby just kind of coached circles around Sark today, and I still think Sark's a really good head coach.
Yeah.
He needs to get another offensive guy there to really help him out because in situations like this, he gets exposed.
No, 100%. I mean, like saying Kirby coach circles around someone is not that much of an insult. Like,
No.
sorry, you're not the best coach in the country. Like, tough. But like, like I'm definitely not like down or sour on Steve Sarkisian. And like, we're both still convinced that Arch Manning comes back next season. It's even more likely than it was when we were saying that at the beginning of the season. And like, Arch didn't play that poorly tonight. Like he missed a couple throws, but he was also like getting his ass kicked the entire night too. And Ryan Wingo didn't help him at all.
No, hot hands handed out there.
Dude, he really is high end.
I saw Josh Pate from, just Josh Pate, college football, whatever, personal hero of both of
He
ours.
works for like 20 different companies. There's no way we could list them all.
He probably works for Haynes too.
He probably works with us and we just don't know
I don't know.
it.
Who have we ever seen at work? And that's who it is. It's probably some guy in the players shooting. It's actually just him.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
He said that Georgia and Texas have played three times, and Texas has had a combined 83 rushing yards against Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, Texas needs to figure out how to run the ball. And like again, their offensive line has been a problem for months at this point now. And so like I wasn't surprised that Texas wasn't able to run the ball last night. I was more surprised last year that they weren't able to run the ball because the offensive line was great last year. So like that shouldn't have been an issue and it was.
The reason I'm saying Georgia is a serious national championship contender right now, it's not, they've been a playoff team the whole year. I've always thought that they could because of the talent.
Yeah.
And it has really nothing to do with the fact that they beat Texas. It's how they did it. It's like you you're like deep, you're in your own territory. You go for it on 4th and 1. You keep on the ball to Cash Jones for some reason.
I was gonna throw that in there. I had to mention it. I saw a lot of Cash Jones on my television tonight, and I was like, I wonder how Bueller's feeling about this.
Not great, Bob. But then you have some communication issues. Texas got heavily penalized. London Humphreys just wide open in the end zone, pretty much. Then you do the most perfect onside kick I've ever seen. Cash Jones couldn't believe it. He thought like he won a supermarket sweep.
Yeah, 100%. He found the $5,000, which yeah, like I love Supermarket Sweep. It's a great show, but it's always made me laugh very hard that the grand prize was like 5 grand.
I mean, I'd take 5 grand right now
I
if I
mean, yeah,
could.
absolutely. Like, I'm not going to turn down 5 grand, but also like in the grand scheme of things, the very small cash prize.
Let's be real. Like if you're at a Smith's or at Publix, and it's going nuts. 5 grand's like, I deserve a vacation after this. Now we'll fund
That's
that.
right, 100%.
I guess like the last thing here is you throw the ball like Lawson Lucky, obviously bookended a perfect day. His brother featured on game day today. Obviously, Lawson Lucky had to exit the Mississippi State game last week with a concussion. Then he comes in there, gets the game sealing touchdown. The guy shows up in big moments. He's not the most. I don't know if he's as talented as Oscar Delp or what Brock Bowers ever was, but the guy makes plays.
No, 100%. Very cool to see him get a score there. And I mean, like, I think that's the thing that, if I'm an opponent, that's what scares me the most about Georgia. Like, and from our perspective, why they should be considered a national championship contender is there's not like one avenue you can shut down with this offense. Like
No.
Gunnar Stockton didn't really use his legs a ton in this game. And like that's obviously an element of his game that is there if it's necessary. You have a host of running backs that Mike Bobo is going to use. Even with Colby Young out, like the ball is getting spread around with different, like a diverse type of weapons. Like Zachariah Branch and Dylan Bell are different types of players. Zachariah Branch and London Humphreys are different types of like you just have this very versatile group. And as the offensive line, like you mentioned, is getting healthier, like that's a really dangerous combination because you shut down one avenue, there's more avenues that they can beat you with.
Amen, brother. Let's move on to Notre Dame before we get to your run. So
Speaking of teams that don't have multiple avenues that they can beat you, but they have one really good avenue.
yeah, let's give Jeremiah Love the Doug Walker award. Although Lacey for Ole Miss is really good too.
100%. Yeah. Kawan Lacey is, if Jeremiah Love didn't exist, this would be a Kawan Lacey podcast, but Jeremiah Love is that damn good.
So you have game day there in Pittsburgh. Pat Narduzzi made an absolute mockery of this. And the biggest thing that's hit for me is, Nardog tried to do like the bro dab with Freeman after this. And he's like, I'm gonna wake up and not respect you. You made me look like an absolute jackass for playing this game. And the final score is closer than what it was there in Pittsburgh. It was,
It was over in the first quarter.
yeah, like they Mason Heichel, hopefully he doesn't have PTSD from this game. He got lit up the whole time.
Yeah.
But with Notre Dame, it's like they're playing a playoff game every time. This is like Sherman's March to the Sea. It's like we can't stop. We just got to keep going. Why would we ever want to consider sleeping? We're just gonna do whatever we want in the village of our choice, for lack of a better word.
No, 100%, man. It was, I mean, it was just, it was methodical. Like, and like that's what we said about Notre Dame last week. And it's like, man, it's just hard to stop a team that is so convicted in what they do. And like I think that's one of the like, we can talk about the shortcomings of a Texas, of an Alabama, which we will in a little bit. And like there's all these teams that are in the college football playoff mix where you look at them and you can see an obvious flaw. You can also see Notre Dame's obvious flaw, but their strength, they lean into it so heavily, and everything is designed around that strength in a way that I don't think these other teams are doing. Everything in Notre Dame is designed around this run game and their defense. And like that's what they bank on. That is the bankable commodity for the Fighting Irish. And Marcus Freeman's a hell of a coach. His staff is incredibly adept at what they're doing right now with this team because I think this team is severely less talented than it was a year ago, and it doesn't matter because they are convicted in what they do and they run like it's almost like they're more versatile than this, but it's almost like facing a triple option team and not just because of the run game, but like triple option teams even though you know what they're going to do, still have success. We saw Navy beat South Florida today, and like South Florida knew that they were going to face the triple option, and they still did not have an answer for it because triple option programs, the service academies, they are committed to what they do, and everything is designed to make it happen in their system. And Notre Dame is the non-triple option version of that right now.
It's a d- wonderful backhanded compliment. I love that.
I mean, to be
No,
clear, it's going like I would not be surprised if Notre Dame ends up in a quarterfinal matchup. Like it would not shock me in the least because like they're so good at what they do that like if they get the right matchup, there's going to be teams that just can't stop them.
Like they could beat like Oregon, they could beat Ole Miss, they could beat
Mhm.
Texas Tech
Yeah.
playing this way. I don't know if you could
I
beat.
don't know if they could beat Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech's defense might be good enough to
Yeah,
stop what they're trying to do, but
you could give Indiana a run for its money.
yeah, 100%. Take the air out of the ball.
Yeah, you could make Ohio State squirm. I think you could make
Hmm.
Texas Tech. I don't know if you could do it like. I don't know if you could do it with Georgia. I think that they just stop you, but like you could beat somebody with this, and you know. Had like a really good point here. Somehow I was thinking about, they're running the ball, they know it's coming. It's like the late great Larry Allen for the Cowboys, just go left guard going choo choo,
Yeah,
just gonna run,
100%.
just gonna run you over, man. The last point I have with this is a couple of years ago. I think it was like the 22 season. Like Georgia was like the best of this. The Michigan was like a slightly lesser version of this, and then Utah was like a slightly lesser version of that. It kind of feels like Notre Dame's kind of like a lesser version of Georgia. It's kind of cut from the same thing. Run the ball, play good defense.
Mhm.
Quarterback can make things happen. I think that Stockton's just playing at an unreal level, whereas Carr, like, he's only like what, like a redshirt sophomore. He's got time to figure
I
this
think he
out.
might be a redshirt freshman. He's
Yeah,
super young.
yeah. And Notre Dame doesn't have the most talented team, but they've got a really good one, and I think that they can punch up with anybody in the playoffs. So I would like to see them in there as like either a 9 or 10 seed, all things equal.
Yeah, he's a redshirt freshman. He was 2024 recruiting class. So yeah, dude's super young. And like and to his credit, I think from where he was at the beginning of the season to where he is at this point, I think he's matured a lot. He's still not like a world beater by any stretch of the like the last thing I want and the last thing Marcus Freeman wants is to put the game in CJ Carr's hands, and I think that is abundantly clear at this current juncture. But at the same time, he's not hurting Notre Dame, and
Yeah.
like that's a plus right now. That's what we need from CJ Carr.
He's grown up a lot since dinner, and I think both of us have. I don't know what you had for dinner, but I had some PF Chang's.
I had a chicken burrito. It was quite good.
It was in a
Hell
bag.
yeah, baby.
What do you want to run with?
Yeah, so let's get running. I'm gonna run with Oklahoma, the thing I was right about. First off, making the playoff. I'm also gonna run with Texas Tech being able to make a run in the playoff because man, these two teams, they've kind of over the past, I would say month, they've kind of just been like, well, not Texas Tech as much disagreement, but like we disagreed quite a bit about Oklahoma. And like I've said, look, man, I understand that John Mateer is an imperfect quarterback, and damn it, he was imperfect again today. Like he threw for 130 yards. Like he did not play the best game in the world. This defense might be the best defense in the country.
I think it might be.
And like you also have Brent Venables as your head coach, and you go into this Alabama game, and we'll unpack Alabama a little bit more. But like I said it coming into this, like Alabama cannot run the ball. And it's going to be on Ty Simpson to do this. And Ty Simpson gave it his best damn shot. Like Ty Simpson had some throws in this game where I was just like, man, you're going to make a hell of an NFL quarterback. Like you are a good player. But when you're constantly facing blitz packages, when you're constantly facing different looks, when you're constantly facing a defense that does not have to respect the run game, it is too much for this caliber of defense for an offense to do anything against it. And like, I think that that can happen to most of the teams in the playoff at this point. Like, I'm not saying Oklahoma's going to win a national championship. I don't think their offense is good enough to do that. But I think that they are like, and now you just simply looking at the schedule now, like we talked about the gauntlet they've had to run. Well, lo and behold, the gauntlet's pretty much over because you get to play Mizzou and LSU to finish your season.
Yeah,
And so like those two games which looked daunting at the beginning of the season are not daunting anymore. And so like now you're in a position where you are set up to walk into the college football playoff, especially after Texas just lost tonight, because now you don't have to worry about the head to head. You're not always going to be one spot below Texas because you have a better record than them. Like the Oklahoma needed this game to get in the playoff, and they went out into Bryant-Denny Stadium and did it.
that's Kalen DeBoer's first home loss there
Hmm.
at Alabama. Granted, we're only 2 years into this,
Yeah.
but you were right though. It's like Oklahoma had the defense and the edge rush to uh, make Ty Simpson have to play a perfect game. He's not perfect. He's just Ty Simpson. And I'll say this: like Brent Venables. like you can win a national championship with a defensive-minded head coach because you can just blitz the hell out of people and
Mhm.
just blow stuff up. It also helps if you have like a Ben Arbuckle kind of figuring it
Yeah.
out. Mateer had like one of the worst like intentional groundings I've ever seen. It looked like Michael Penix Jr. out there. It's like, dude, what are we
It was
doing?
so bad. I thought it was a fumble when it happened because it was so bad. Like I thought it just got knocked out of his hand. I was like, there's no way he actually tried to throw that.
No, but like you're right though. You're gonna win Peace Pipe over Mizzou, and then you're gonna beat LSU, who's got an interim head coach. So you're gonna be 10-2. If you're 10-2 in the SEC, you're gonna make the playoff, and your two losses aren't bad. It's to what Ole Miss is probably gonna go 11-1 if assuming they win the Egg Bowl. They probably will, although I think the Bulldogs need to win that to go Poland.
Yeah, I mean
So.
it's gonna be a fun game, but I gotta believe Mississippi State might just be beat the hell up at this point, brother.
Yeah, like Blake Shapen looks like he's got a TB out there, just coughing up blood, man.
Brother, this is like 1974 Vietnam War soldier pictures that we're looking at on the Starkville sidelines.
I want it to be like Apocalypse Now to see like a 14-year-old Lawrence Fishburne ripping a dart.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I saw that. Like he was like 14 when he was going to be in that movie. He said he was going to be 17 or 18, and by the time it was done, he was 17 or 18.
Getting too old for this. Yes.
You are the one.
That's right. Oh man. But no, like I mean Oklahoma's in like you said, neither of their losses are debilitating. Like they're both gonna be the top 20 teams, I would assume, by the end of this thing. And like you navigated the gauntlet. And like even me being bullish on Oklahoma, like I was still dubious that they could go through this with only two losses, which is what you probably needed to get into the playoff. And now it looks like they're gonna do that. And like I mean, I think we from the beginning of the season, I think we do owe Brent Venables somewhat of an apology because I think dude might actually be a hell of a head coach.
Yeah, it took a minute there. He's got the
Yeah,
resources. He just has no offense, and that's okay.
yeah,
You ran the gauntlet. You're gonna go 10-2. You're gonna probably be 8, 9, 10 seed, I think, at this point.
yeah. I have
You,
them in the projected AP top 25. I have them at 8, with Alabama dropping to 10. That's where I have them in this.
yeah, you're in that realm with like Alabama, Oregon, Notre Dame,
Hmm. Yeah,
Vanderbilt's coming up there, Utah.
kind of
Hey,
take your pick. Which one of those? Like you can put them anywhere, and I really won't have a qualm with it.
nah. Yeah, they're playing spectacular football. They probably got the best defense in the country, and they're fighting off some. I don't think they're going to win a playoff game. They might win one if they play somebody who's soft, but like
Yeah.
I can't trust Mateer to win multiple playoff
I
games.
mean, if they play Oregon, they're going to beat the dog piss out of them. And like that's a very much a possible matchup that we could see. Like they're going to annihilate the Ducks.
You know what Brent Venables reminds me of besides Ben Crane and the Golf Boys? He's like the kid who's sitting there in like his homeroom in high school, like where he's like got all those veins popping out of his head. That's Brent Venables.
Hell yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh man. So speaking of teams with offenses that I don't really trust, but defenses that are damn good, also Texas Tech, who made Scott Frost have some Nebraska flashbacks, I'm pretty sure, because it was a rough time out there for UCF today. Shouts to Jacob Rodriguez, just Heisman farming out there. Love to see that. But Texas Tech dominated, and man, like their path to winning playoff games is the same as Oklahoma's. It truly is because like this defense is legitimate. It like if Oklahoma's not the best defense in the country, it might be Texas Tech. Like that's truly where I'm at this point. These might be the two best defenses in the country, and like I think because they have the TT on the side of their helmet, I think that someone might underestimate them too. Which Oklahoma doesn't have that advantage that Texas Tech might.
I was looking at this. I found this in the full-time staff channel that you're not in, but it's okay. Erica Brockish, UCF alum, she says literally 5 minutes into the UCF Texas Tech game, and the Knights are already down 14 nothing. They lost the game in 3 minutes.
100%, man. It was wild, and like the second touchdown was Jacob Rodriguez, who is a linebacker for those who are uninformed, getting a
Yeah.
rushing touchdown.
As much as I love CJ Allen, that guy's gonna win the podcast.
Oh yeah, he's nasty. He's so good.
He's gonna win like the Lombardi. He's gonna win like all. defensive player or whatever it is. He's so good.
The funny part is he's not. I don't even think he's the best player on Texas Tech's defense, but he's still incredibly good. Like David Bailey is unbelievable.
They're playing at a level right now for Joey McGuire that is akin to what Clemson was at its peak under Dabo, where
Mhm.
this is an SEC team playing in another league and they're
Yes.
just destroying the opposition. The biggest difference is I would say is I think Clemson had better quarterback play with Deshaun Watson and Trevor
Yes.
Lawrence. I also kind of think that Clemson just has better coaches than Texas Tech, and that's kind of what scares me about them potentially winning. Joe McGuire may be the ultimate CEO type, shaking babies, kissing hands and stuff, but like, I don't think he's going to get his hands dirty. I don't think he's going to be,
No.
no, he's just
No.
going to be.
But I like to your point though. Like they're running downhill right now. Like and like that. I didn't even mean to make like a Clemson like further the Clemson analogy, but they are running downhill right now. And like that's a dangerous thing coming into the playoff. And like even when you look at a team like Oregon last year, like I didn't ever felt like they were running downhill coming into the college football playoff. Like, yes, they were playing well. Yes, they hadn't lost, but like Texas Tech has tasted defeat. Like they saw what happens when you're not like when you don't have your A game against that in that Arizona State loss. And like I think that makes them exceptionally dangerous because like they have a little bit of battle tested to them, but they also have like just full blown confidence and also like the naivety of like why not us? Because like I think that's truly valuable to some degree. Like you look honestly, I not just because they're going to be like they're projected right now to be the Big 12 representative, but like it's not dissimilar to Arizona State a year ago. Like you looked at Arizona State going into the Texas game last year, and like on paper, Texas should have beat the absolute dog piss out of them. And Arizona State just looked at it, and Cam Scatterbo rammed his head into a wall, and they were like, "Why not us? Like, let's just go." And they gave Texas everything they could handle, and like I think Texas Tech can do the same. Except I think that the top of college football is a little bit worse than it was a year ago, and so I think Texas Tech has a better chance to advance than Arizona State did last year.
And I think that's fair. So Texas Tech and Georgia are the two teams that are like they're not just running downhill. They're like teenagers on skateboards going downhill, straight losing. And my
Yes,
mom's gonna come out and say, "John Paul, Tiernan, just turn around. We gotta protect your face."
that's right. Mother of God, wear a helmet.
And the Notre Dame's coming down the hill, but it's like the fat dad trying to make sure the kids get on the bus.
It's Mr. Larson from Happy Gilmore, his old boss that he shot dead with a nail gun running after Shooter McGavin. I believe that belongs to Mr. Gilmore. That's Notre Dame.
Rest in peace, Richard Kiel.
Absolutely.
Jaws, man. Also, shout out to Dakota Gregory. Today was your birthday, man. You got a big win
Oh
there
yeah. What a birthday.
for Oklahoma.
Dude, I would have picked Oklahoma by a billion if I'd have known it was Dakota's birthday.
It was. He's and then Texas lost too. There's the
He's living large. And Oklahoma State might not even have a program at this point. So like
the Thunder are the top of the Western Conference. I think they're 12-1.
yeah, they beat the Hornets today. So yeah. The
Well,
Hornets suck. They're terrible.
the man is absolutely thriving right now, and I don't know if you trust John Matier. I don't think he does. I think he trusts Brent Venables, and
Yeah.
I think I guess I'll tie bow this with Texas Tech here. This is a team that I doubted for a long time given their history, but our colleague Winston Wilcox is like, nah, this team's legit, and he was so right on that. We were so wrong on
Mhm.
so wrong on
100%.
this next thing, and I gotta pass. I gotta pass on Shane Beamer. My goodness gracious.
It's
Uh,
fair.
I'm also gonna pass on wherever the hell this is in my sheet. This is you. I'm gonna pass on Shane Beamer as a head coach of South Carolina. Pat Narduzzi being a serious groundhog. Texas is a playoff team, and Ole Miss is national title contender. I'm gonna start with Shane Beamer. It's over. He might get fired tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not good, man. Like I mean, it was good for 30 minutes.
Yeah, it
But
was.
they play 60. I don't know if Shane knows that, but they play 60 and not the first time that we've run into this problem in Columbia.
No, you ruined. I mean, he's ruining Lidor Sellers more than Brian Grigson ruined Andrew Luck.
No, 100%. I mean, like it would take a lot to be the biggest asshole in College Station today, especially with that cop like bumping into Nick Harbor and all those people and like the South Carolina players coming out of the tunnel. But Shane Beamer did it. I'll tell you, man. He absolutely did it somehow, some way.
Like he's the ultimate front runner. He's like a former wide receiver. He's like a tight ends coach, special teams. He can't call plays worth a damn. That's not what he does. It's Beamer ball. And they're talking about James Franklin taking over potentially at Virginia Tech, which I think would be an absolute game changer. And
Yeah.
they probably want to do this enough to hire this buffet.
100%. Yeah. Do it before Shane Beamer gets fired so you don't have to answer the questions.
We thought this team was gonna go like 10-2 and make the playoff, and they're 3-7,
hmm
man.
Yeah. And what is it? They have two SEC wins or just one?
I think just one. I think three, seven of their losses are in SEC play.
That's so bad, dude.
Like this is some South Carolina stuff before, like when we were like in middle school before Spurrier got there with Lou Holtz. It was like, yeah, they can join the SEC. They're like a 2-10 team. They're just like some hellacious Arkansas ass, which they might go 2-10 too.
Yeah, so yeah, 1-7, you're correct. They're done with SEC play, and 1-7, they're done. They're finished.
They probably got the Wofford Terriers left in Clemson.
Let's see. I know Clemson is obvious. Wofford would be hilarious. No, they might actually lose this. They've got Coastal next week.
They're gonna be pissing too. When you have Lenore Sellers doing Reggie Ball stuff in a game, like it's over.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, as much as I don't think, sorry, let me rephrase that. As much as I think Mike Shula was the impetus for this problem, it is a fire that Shane Beamer poured gasoline on. And
Hmm.
like, let's also be clear, he hired Mike Shula. Like that was a thing that he looked at and said, this is a good idea. It was not. It was a very bad idea. And like, people are down on Lenore Sellers. I still believe in the kid. I still believe in the talent. He's like, I don't think he magically can't play football anymore. I think he can't play football at South Carolina anymore. I think he needs to get the hell out of there and go somewhere else. But like, I like go down to Miami, be Mario Cristobal's quarterback. That'd be fun as hell. You're probably going to go 10-2 and end up in a weird place, but it won't be your fault. And that's what really matters.
Yeah, play an ACC schedule. You don't turn the ball over like Carson's back, but it's over for Shane Beamer. I would say like even more so than Luke Fickle, which is a disaster. You should fire him too and get Jason Eck to come home.
100%. Jason X out here doing it, man.
And then I gotta throw gasoline on the Pat Narduzzi. Like nobody deserved to lose more this weekend than this guy.
Yeah.
Like like if Pitt actually gave a shit, I'm just gonna say it because that's what
Yeah.
they deserve that
I
right
said we
now.
get one, man. There's the one.
Yeah.
We needed it.
Like that was a fireable effort this week. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, we don't care about Notre Dame because this is an ACC game. Like you should have fired him immediately after that because you have game day in town. People actually care about your program. You're
Mhm.
ranked. You you can't disrespect your opponent that way. Because Marcus Freeman's like, look, we lost our first two games. We don't play in a conference, but we got to schedule people who are worth a damn, and we got
Mhm.
to put people in here who, we have to play an ACC schedule. We didn't expect you to be good, but we're going to take care of business and beat you. What kind of message are you sending to a team that's led by like a young quarterback and Mason Heinschel and everything like that? You have Aaron Donald call a game day, even though Pat McAfee loved it being in Pittsburgh and seeing Pitt lose.
Yeah.
Uh, Also, West Virginia's not going bowling this week anyway. They're going to pour one out for them tomorrow.
So close. So
So,
close.
not, not really. It just it's unbelievable. This is like Jim Mora Jr. saying, "Hey, I would leave the Falcons to be the head coach at Washington." And joke about it, or Bobby Petrino actually effing doing it.
Yeah.
Like
It's bad, man. It's
it's
really bad. And like, I'm already forecasting this. Like, go ahead and jot this down as an off-season prediction for Cody. Um, Mason Heitzel's going to transfer because I wouldn't want to be a part of this. Why would you? And Pat Narduzzi's going to like go off on a rant about the transfer portal in this era of college football and whatnot. No, brother, it's your fault. Like I wouldn't want to play for you either. I would want to get the hell out of there. If my coach said that before a game, I can't like I can't imagine how I would feel as a player. Like, yes, you're disrespecting your opponent. You're also disrespecting your own team. Because, like, if I bust my ass as much as these college football players and these student athletes do, The last thing I want is my coach to basically say, "Yeah, we're mailing this one in. Yeah, we're just punting this one." Like that's unacceptable nonsense.
You can't do you could do that in baseball, you could do that in basketball. You can't do that in football or soccer. Like
No.
every game is so precious. You can't afford to do this because then doubt creeps in. And at this point, like it's honestly over. I don't care if you're going to a bowl game. I'd fire him tomorrow for that. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mean he won't. Like there's no doubt about it. But like it's like I don't know how if you're a Pitt fan, I don't know how you have faith in the program with this dude leading it.
I wonder what Mark Powell's got to say about that. You should ask him that on Monday.
I work with him tomorrow. I'll see how he's feeling.
Then we're also gonna pass on Texas as a playoff team and Ole Miss as a national title contender. Well, let's go with Ole Miss real quick, and then let's go to Texas, and then we'll
Mhm.
get out of here with some delicious punt from you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Um, the Lane Kiffin of it all, he's just not serious enough. Like I understand that Florida's kind of giving him trouble. He's kind of playing flirt, trying to play both sides of the coins here. You almost lose to Billy Gonzalez at home, wherever the hell this game was played. You're trying to go to the playoff. You're 10
Mhm.
and 1 now. And you have the weakest schedule of anybody in the SEC. You have to go 11-1. You can't just, expect to be the fourth all-star of four guys on your team. You need to make sure
Yeah.
that you get in here because Oklahoma's trying to take your spot.
Hmm.
Vanderbilt's trying to take your spot. They've actually played people that are good
No,
and beat and
100%.
beat and beaten them.
I mean, I'm a little torn here because I agree with your sentiment. Like you should like you played with your food against a bad Florida team that's like a shell of what it should have been, obviously in a post Billy Napier world. But like at the same time, this is a game that last year's Ole Miss team would have lost.
Yeah.
So like the fact that they did win it, like I want to give like some credit because they are still alive for the playoff, but like definitely some warning signs for when the playoff does roll around. That and like I think that's the larger point here is like I think there's growth. I think this team might be actually be better than it was a year ago, but I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's been enough growth.
Follow me on this. This kind of feels like varsity blues. I think they're playing for each other, not him.
That wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, especially if he's already gone.
Look, you can accomplish everything that you want to at Ole Miss in this world. Going to Florida is a step back. Florida is a toxic place.
Yeah.
It's you ha
The
you have
understatement of the century.
you have to be Steve Spurrier or Urban Meyer to achieve greatness there. And even if you're somebody who's really good, like a Doug Dickey, who was like a Hall of Fame level coach, like it's this thing chews up good coaches. It
Mhm.
destroys Dan Mullen's. I think Dan Mullen's a good head coach, and this ate him alive. What makes you think that you're going to be able to handle coaching there if you were to take this job, just because you're Teflon Lane, just because you haven't done anything bad to your body in 5 years? You haven't made it at Ole Miss. You can go 10 and 2 every year and make the playoff every so often. They'll build a statue. You'll be as beloved as Johnny Vaught.
Yep.
Or you can just, touch the third rail and go to Florida and get fired in 4 years because you're going to go 1-3 versus Georgia.
Yeah, no, it's like I still respect Lane Kiffin as a coach because I think he is on the whole very good at his job, but like there are some glaring holes in his arsenal that just have never gone away.
No. And my last little point here. I've been grouping Indiana and Ole Miss together throughout this whole thing. It's like I think that they could win multiple playoff games. They're playoff caliber, but I've been dubious about saying if they can win it all. Indiana's almost there. I think that they're just, I think it's the steadiness is basically helping them offset their lack of recruiting prowess over a
Mhm.
4 or 5 year cycle. Ole Miss has been able to hit the portal effectively to effectively offset that. But I'm looking at this with like Kurt Cignetti just I don't think he knows how to laugh. I think he just knows how to just be a dick on the sidelines.
I think he's a
Lane, like
vampire, dude. Like truly, I think he's just a vampire out there to like take souls.
I know he's an old soul. Like definitely been reincarnated from World War II.
Yeah. Maybe like the Crusades or something.
They say if you have like any attachment to a certain period of history, that basically means you lived a past life and you were in that.
Yeah.
So I love the Civil War, so I probably died in the Civil Wars.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, but I don't. So, the Rebels didn't win, and they're not going to go to Atlanta, even though they're going to go 11-1. This is false start.
Yep.
Let's move on to Texas. They've got three losses now. They are 7-3. They've got to play Arkansas, who hates them, and they've got nothing left to lose with Bobby Petrino. And then you
I
got to
think they have
play,
I think they have a couple more games left to lose because I don't think the team's very good. But
metaphorically speaking. And then you host Texas A&M.
Mhm.
A&M's got to basically win that to get to Atlanta, so they can't mail it in. They've got somebody else that doesn't matter coming up. I think they play Samford is their other
Yeah,
game.
Samford is theirs, and then someone plays Eastern Illinois next week, and I can't remember who it is. I can't.
Georgia,
It
Georgia
might be Ole
plays
Miss. It might be Ole Miss.
it might be yeah, because Georgia plays Charlotte.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's cupcake week for a lot of SEC teams.
But with Texas, I said at the start of the year, if you lose, you have to win one of these three games on the road at
Mhm.
Ohio State, at Florida, and at Georgia, and you lost them all. And
Mhm.
we did not expect Oklahoma to be this good.
No, not at all. And like, I'm going to be interested. Like, I'm not ruling Texas beating Texas A&M out,
I'm
which I
not
will,
either.
and like, because I think that would be foolish to do. But I'm wondering what like I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks the committee could push Texas back up into the playoff picture if that were to happen. There's also a part of me that thinks, would they really? And because when you look at the resume itself, yes, the Florida loss is bad, but your other two losses are to two top five teams. So those are quality losses as quality losses go. And so I'm very curious. I think we'll find out a lot on Tuesday how realistic that would be that Texas can still make the playoff. Because from our perspective, I'm 100% with you that they don't deserve to.
You lost by 25 points to
Yeah,
Georgia. I understand that.
100%.
I understand that the game was a lot closer than what the final score indicated, but
Yes.
like you lost by 25 points. My other thing is like you're looking at like okay, who they have to give bids to based on what they've done. At this point, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M are pretty much in. Alabama should be in, but we'll talk about that. They kind of messed it up. Oklahoma's playing themselves in. Like if Oklahoma wins out and Vanderbilt wins out, they're both gonna get in, I would
Mhm.
venture to guess based on what they've had to do. I think with
Yeah.
like and at that point, we're
We're running
talking
out of spots
you're
more
talking
than
about you're talking like what? The seventh best SEC team at 9-3, they're not gonna put you in.
yeah. No, I mean I agree, but I also know that it is if they were to beat A&M, it is going to be a conversation.
Oh yeah. And I don't know who that would ruin. That would probably knock Notre Dame out, I would say.
Yeah, most likely. Which to that point, Notre Dame did lose to Texas A&M, and Notre Dame, I don't know. We can split hairs. Again, I don't think a 9-3 team should be in the playoff. Point blank period. I just don't think it should be. I think you got to win the games that are on your schedule. I don't care what the schedule looks like. The end. Oklahoma had the toughest schedule in the country. If they'd have gone 9-3, I still would have said keep Oklahoma out of the playoff.
We did put a 9-3 team in the playoff, and that was Clemson. And look at that turned out for them.
I mean, in fairness, they had to. Yes, I understand where you're coming from.
Cut out the shrimp cocktail inhalation, right?
You could thank Rhett Lashley for that one.
Why couldn't you just be better immediately? I don't understand.
Come on, man. Just do better.
Just I, I, Texas is like they could get in there, but it's going to be as flimsy as Alabama trying to get in last year. And we saw how the committee reacted to that. It's like if you wanted to make the playoff, you needed to beat Florida, and you couldn't do that.
That's a really good comp. I don't hate that at all. That's a really good comp. And speaking of teams that I truly just don't know what to do with, and speaking of Alabama, I'm gonna finish with punt, man. And I'll get to Alabama. I'm starting with Texas A&M. I'm punting on Texas A&M as a national title contender, punting on Alabama as a national title contender, punting on Georgia Tech and Miami being anything, and punting on USC as a playoff team. I'm starting with Texas A&M because shouts to Brandon Walker, who is not my like favorite podcaster in the world over at Unnecessary Roughness at Barstool Sports, but he pointed out something today. Bueller, I'm going to read you Texas A&M's SEC wins on the season. You have a 6 point win at Auburn. You have a win at home. Sorry, these are at home. You have a win at home by 6 points against Auburn. You have a win at home against Mississippi State. You have a win at home against Florida. You have a 3 point win on the road against Arkansas. You have a dominant win over LSU at LSU. You have a dominant win at Missouri. And then you have today's 30-point comeback against South Carolina. Can you tell me what all of those SEC opponents have in common?
None of them are ranked.
They're also all in the bottom half of the SEC. They are
Yeah.
all ranked ninth or lower in the SEC standings. Texas A&M hasn't played a good team in the SEC
No.
this entire year. And like
No.
the fact that not only has that not been the case, like you can make the same argument for an Ohio State in the Big Ten. And so I'm aware that like that's not like a exclusively Texas A&M thing. You know what Ohio State's not doing? Falling behind 27 in the first half to one of those teams. That is like the Big Ten equivalent of South Carolina. They're not winning by 6 at the Big Ten equivalent of Auburn. Like you're not getting into a shootout with Arkansas, who hasn't won a game in the conference. Like that's not what good teams do. And like, man, like props to Marcel Reed for pulling it together and like getting their head out of their ass in the second half. But like, you should have never been in that position if you're a national championship contender.
You smell that? And that's not just Antonio's tapas restaurant, Arby's. Um, that smells like some Missouri paper tiger nonsense. This is
Mhm.
what it is. When they get to Atlanta, Alabama is going to skull drag them.
If,
If
because Texas is by far the best team that they played since they played Notre Dame.
Yeah, um, because Alabama or Georgia would beat this A&M team.
Hmm.
I feel that's going to be reflected as much or in some ways when we do our playoff rankings, and the playoff committee will dock them. It doesn't matter that they are undefeated. This was very, very flimsy. They may hold on to a four spot because top four spot because Alabama lost, but
Hmm.
I don't think they're going to be three next week.
It's possible. It's very, very possible, man. Because that was like we literally just had you just went on a rant about how Shane Beamer needs to get the hell out of Columbia, South Carolina, and
Yeah,
you almost lost to that guy. You almost lost to that guy and his team, and frankly, you gave him more chances than they deserved after you had already come back. Like I don't know what that final drive was from South Carolina. It's one of the many fireable offenses from today from Shane Beamer and his staff, but like a competent offense in that spot is like getting into field goal range because they had every opportunity. There were open lanes for them to take advantage of, and Lenora Sellers was like, "Oh, it's 4th and 16. I'm gonna run for it." Like, what are we doing? But like, it was ugly, and like, I think the thing that worried me the most is, despite how good Marcel Reed looked in the second half, it felt like he got in that quicksand, Keanu Reeves, Shane Falco style, real quick in the first half.
yeah, we'll talk about that probably more with Life from Air Crash's catch. Heroic in the second half, not a great first half for Reed. He's getting better. He's playing with a lot more confidence, but
Mhm.
like he kind of when he hit the quicksand, he kind of retracted back to what it is. He's like, I'm just gonna just hand the ball off a run, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
And
And if I'm going to throw it, it's not going to be to my team.
that's it. Um, so Corey Long came in with there from like the top rope with like, the best comment today. He says, like, what happened in the second half? And Corey Long says, I guess the check's cleared. The sage wisdom of Corey Long. We got to get him on the show at some point.
Absolutely.
The guy's a legend.
That's incredible.
But I will say this: I will give A&M credit here because we don't know if they are, and I think the reason that they still might be is Mike Elko is a top five coach in college football right now.
Mhm.
I would say he's up there with Kirby, Day, Signetti. I think he's better than Sark. I think he's better than DeBoer too.
I would put him on the level of Sark just
Mhm.
because, again, to this point, um,
Who they played? Yeah.
we don't know what big game Oko looks like because they haven't played a whole hell of a lot of them.
I will say though, there is a steadiness to him
Yes,
with this
100%.
where it's like he also empowers people. It's like Colin Klein, you're tough. We know you're tough. Run the ball. But he won at Duke with Riley Leonard, who's not very good, and
He is a college quarterback.
the giant Peyton Manning forehead.
Yeah, dude's got a melon on him, and I say that as a dude who also has a melon on him.
You know what Peyton Manning loves doing? He loves going to Athens to see his teams get their ass kicked. He does all the
100%.
all the time, all the time. But it's Elko's making a huge difference there. They've always had the talent there
Mhm,
at A&M. They're kind of, I mean, this it's a school of impressionables. This is what happens.
mhm.
But this guy keeps him in line, and I think that like they just responded. There's nothing for a team that's all about like swag copters and we're going to drill more oil and we're going to give you more money than God. You've got this guy.
Yeah.
It just works.
Like he's legitimately like Jimbo Fisher's id. Like that's truly what he is.
Yes. He's a goddamn shapeshifter.
That's right, 100%, man. And but I mean, like like I don't want to like completely disparage Texas A&M, but like today brought out all my concerns, and then like realizing that they truly have not been tested this year in SEC play, like that worries the hell out of me for what it's going to mean in the playoff, especially for a team and a program that hasn't been there. And like that, I just feel like it's gonna be to quote the dude, I can't, I'm totally blanking on his name, but the dude who does the skits on Twitter and he's like, the moment's too big, pissed out my leg. Like that guy, that's gonna be Texas A&M in the playoff. I fear.
I can smell that. That's the fear P. That's the
That's the
fear.
fear P for sure. And Alabama didn't fear P today
No.
necessarily, but like this is a flawed football team, man. It really, really is. And like the defense, incredible. Defense is very, very good. Ty Simpson, also incredible. Like he had to be perfect today. And like you said, he's just Ty Simpson, but being Ty Simpson is still gets you pretty close to perfect because he's that damn good, especially with the wide receiver talent that he has. But man, you do like have you looked at the box score? Do you know how many yards per carry Alabama averaged today?
Sub three.
2.4. So sub 2.5. It was absolutely brutal. And like I had some Alabama fans arguing with me saying like, "Oh, we outgained Oklahoma, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "That's not the point. Like the point is like Oklahoma's defense was willing to like take body blow after body blow after body blow because they know you're not going to be able to deliver the haymaker, and like that's what a good defense, a great defense does. And like when I look at this Alabama team." I think they're going to waste a phenomenal year and a phenomenal opportunity with Ty Simpson because of their inability to run the football. And like, yes, I think Oklahoma is maybe and if like it probably is the best defense in the country, but you're also going to face a lot of the potential best defenses in the country if you get into the college football playoff. And like, if you can't run the ball, this type of game is what you're going to find yourself in over and over and over again against better offenses than what Oklahoma has. Like,
Yeah.
if you think Brent Venables put Ty Simpson into a blender and like made him be perfect, what do you think Matt Patricia's going to do? What do you
Yeah.
think the Texas Tech defense is going to do? What do you think Georgia's going to do, especially having already played Alabama once this season? Like you go down the list and there's just so many like teams that I think can exploit what is a clear weakness for Alabama.
I think Oregon could. I think Tosh
Mhm.
Lupo and Dan Lanning would have that coming. Like you
Yeah.
mentioned, like the big three with Georgia, with Texas Tech and Ohio State. Like those, they're all looking their chops here. This is it's really frustrating. It goes back to my big thing. You can't win. Like Kalen DeBoer has got to be the CEO type, and it's also like this is a Ryan Grubb thing. They didn't run the ball at all, and at Washington really.
No, not really. I mean, like there were a couple games, but no, definitely not.
Defense plays well. Womack and Linguist, like they're figuring it out. They make it work together here. But at the end of the day, in college football, you have to be able to run the football. You need to break the will of the other team's defensive line, have them sucking wind, and those 2 yard gains become 5 yard gains, become 7 yard gains, and then you win the game.
Mhm.
If you don't do that and you don't punish the opposing defensive line, people like Oklahoma, they're just going to keep coming after you, and then they're going to get Simpson, who has to play flawless to counterbalance. He's a person; he can't do that.
Right.
Nobody can. There's not a quarterback in the country that could overcome that.
He's not a quarterback in the NFL. Like that's not a realistic expectation. Like it's why I get like this is a weird comparison, but like it's why I get pissed off at people who come after Dak Prescott. And I'm like, brother, do you want him to go like 40 for 40 every game for 400 yards? Because like that's what you're asking him to do. Like, sorry that the defense gave up 30 and he's trying to play hero ball. Like, get out of my face. Like but like it's the same corollary. Like it is the same like transitive property for what Ty Simpson is having to do right now. And like I am not dogging on Ty Simpson for this. It is not Ty Simpson's fault that this is happening. But like to your point about Ryan Grubb, I knew Alabama was in trouble this in this game early on when in the first quarter Ryan Grubb's calling trick plays. And I was like, "Oh, he doesn't have a counterpunch. He has a couple trick plays up his sleeve and those are going to run out pretty quickly."
What I don't understand is you have Caden Proctor. The guy is the size of the Grand Canyon. Just run behind him. I don't know. I'm not going to try to get fired here, but like, get him fired up. Just tell him what they told Forrest Whitaker in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think Alabama can win a national title as much as I did the day before. This is a very Oklahoma always had a chance that they're playing with a little bit more urgency, but like you're not going to win 3 or 4 games like this.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we'll move on to the ACC because I'm sure we'll have some more Alabama thoughts late throughout the week. I would prefer not to talk about the ACC as much as possible because the league is just dog water. Um, Georgia Tech and Miami, I would put the entire ACC here, but it's likely because Virginia beat Duke today that the ACC champion is going to get a bid to the college football playoff this year. They don't deserve it. This league's terrible. Louisville losing to Clemson on Friday. We don't have that on the rundown, but I feel the need to mention it.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech almost lost on the road at Boston College. Probably should have, quite frankly. Miami, great, you beat NC State. That doesn't mean anything. NC State's not good. And like I look at these teams and like if there's one thing I don't question about Georgia Tech, it's that Haynes King is a dog, Brent Key is a dog, but I'm not sure that they're good like at all. Like I think that like they're a team built of like Cam Scatterbo energy. Like you're just gonna try to run through a wall, and sometimes the wall fights back.
It's like a bunch of David Ecksteins out there trying really hard.
Yeah, man. Like, shouts to the super utility players, but like it's just not there. And then like
Yeah.
Miami, like NC State's one of the worst defenses in the country. Like I would hope that you put up 40 on them, but like when you play a defense of any kind of quality, we know what it's going to happen, and it's Carson Beck turning the ball over. And hell, it doesn't even have to be that quality because we just saw what Louisville is capable of.
A lot of quitting that hard of Miller Moss.
Yeah, man. I just can't. I can't with this league. It's so bad. North Carolina lost to Wake Forest. I'm so done with the ACC.
Is there a way that Wake can get to the ACC championship? I
I
want to see
don't
what they
think
can.
so, but I wish because that might be the team that I trust the most in the ACC. As dumb as that sounds.
I'm like, Dickert knows what he's doing, and Devon Claiborne is a lot of fun.
Yeah, like at least I'll have a good time. I'm not having fun watching any of these games.
No, Pitt didn't even care. Pitt was like, we care about the ACC. We don't care about Notre Dame. It's
The ACC doesn't care about you, Pitt. That's the problem.
doesn't care about it's gonna be an 11 seed. We have no idea who's gonna get that 12 seed out of the road. We'll talk about that more on Saturday's show. Oh my God. And then
Like we should just make it a 10 team playoff. That's my proposal. Just get F this 10 team not or 12 team nonsense. I need 10 teams. That's all.
TIN 10.
TIN 10 playoff.
But that being said, I think USC is an interesting team to watch because
Mhm.
they could make it 4 teams in the Big Ten, which it'd be very close because you have the head-to-head win. You'd have the head-to-head win over Oregon, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, they play Oregon next week.
If you win that, I think you have UCLA after that. You have a loss to Illinois, who's going to finish 9-3,
Mhm.
and you're going to
Probably
have a
ranked
lot.
at 9-3.
hmm And then you're gonna have a loss to like what Illinois and Notre Dame, and then you've got
Yeah.
a head-to-head win over Michigan. If Michigan beats Ohio State, that throws a whole that throws a wrinkle in there. Actually, that might get you in over them in a way.
Yeah, 100%. That
It,
could be more beneficial to USC than it could Michigan.
so, and if you beat Oregon, if Oregon doesn't make the playoff,
I mean, it's entirely. I'm actually going to look at the Big Ten standings to see if there's any way that Ohio State could still not make the Big Ten championship game because that would be really funny. Um, let's see. Indiana is Indiana. Big Ten plays a 9 game conference schedule,
yeah,
right?
Indiana,
Yeah,
Indiana just has Purdue left.
that's right. Okay, so Ohio State. There's a non-zero chance that it could be USC versus Indiana if Michigan were to beat Ohio State.
Who does Ohio State play next week?
Ohio, I mean, I'm sure it's no one good because they've got the softest schedule I've ever seen. Yeah, Rutgers.
Yeah, it's
They haven't played they haven't played a good team in over a month, Bueller. They played at Illinois, which they got the win. Hats off to them. Since then, they played at Wisconsin, home versus Penn State, at Purdue, and home versus UCLA.
it's just sad bag of crap.
Their schedule is what Indiana's was a year ago, but no one's talking about it because they're Ohio State.
Yeah. How about you play Vanderbilt? Let's see how you do with Vanderbilt.
I mean, like, to be clear, I still think Ohio State's probably pretty good, but like, because like they beat the dog piss out of every one of these teams that they play. Like, it's not like they're like leaving it in question, but like, anyway, there is a non-zero chance that USC could still make the Big Ten championship game. But I also think, like, I just think that I was impressed with USC today because even though they were in LA, like, that was an Iowa ass game that they were playing, man. It was ugly. It was rainy. It was blowing sheets of rain in LA. Like, if you hadn't told me that they were in Los Angeles, I would have thought you were in Kinnick because that's what it looked like. And like USC didn't get off the bus playing really well. They fell behind early. And like when I first saw the score and saw what was happening in that game, man, my first inclination was, oh, here comes you, like the Lincoln rally of it all just coming back to blow up in our face for trying to gas up USC. And I'll be damned if they didn't fight back, man. And like that means a lot to me because like against Iowa, no less, like the team that has been built over a decade by Kirk Ferentz to play well in this type of environment, for you to come back in that game in a game that does not suit you, what your team is built to do, maybe this is like a new leaf for USC.
I don't want to believe that Lincoln Riley has turned a new leaf. I think there's two things working in their advantage, and I'll give Lincoln Riley credit here. He's when he has it going, he makes these sort of seasons happen. I will always give him credit. He always has a power running game
Hmm.
back there, which will punish the opposition.
He's one of the few like air raid coaches who knows how to run the football.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Ryan Grubb, learn that, brother.
Right, 100%.
I think the two things here, it's all about Jaden Mayava
Hmm.
and Danton Lin.
Yeah, I think those are the two biggest factors that we have going on here.
When you have Jaden Mayava, who transferred over from UNLV, was briefly committed to Georgia for a day.
He was there. He thought about Athens one time.
Yes, same with same sort of thing with Caleb Downs as well. But like anytime USC is good or worth a damn, they have a blue collar feel to it. They think it's the glitz and glamour, which obviously is just the empty calorie nonsense air raid stuff that doesn't work. My Ava has like a little bit of what Sam Darnold had a little bit of this too when they
Hmm.
had that one good year
Yeah.
that they had.
Yeah.
When you have a quarterback like that, the team rallies around this and it works. But I think more importantly, D'Anton Lynn's a head coach and needs to go to the Big Ten because he's providing a level of toughness that this team needs defensively. And because like otherwise they were not going to compete in the Big Ten. They're going to be like trying to glitz and glamour their way through this, but like they have some substance to him. I don't know what team needs to hire him. I don't know if it's
UCLA.
Wisconsin, UCLA. Yeah, bring him back. Yeah, let's do it.
UCLA and like bring D'Anton Lynn back, keep Neuheisel as the OC. I think that could work really well, actually.
Hell, behind at Penn State.
I'm, you could do worse. You could definitely do worse. I'm I'm convincing myself that Penn State's going to hire Eli. I think that might be where we're headed. LSU should, they won't, but I think Penn State might.
Okay, so who does LSU hire then?
No clue. I think it's going to be something off the freaking wall.
I don't
I,
know if Lane. I don't know if Lane takes Florida. I don't know. I'm not there
I'm not
yet.
convinced there either. No, I mean, like, I would take LSU over Florida in a heartbeat.
Florida's probably going to beat Golash, I think.
I mean, it would make sense. I don't know if I like it. Like, I mean, like, I think it's, I think he's a good coach to hire. I'm not sure I would like anyone going to Florida because, like you said, Florida is toxic. Florida is dysfunction personified.
You know, Glenn Schumann, you can go there.
Hell yeah. There we go.
Or Auburn. Hugh Freeze go to Florida. Why not?
Bobby Petrino, next Florida head coach. Let's go.
And on that note, this was 3 yards in the cloud of punt here on False Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter or the X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at TheSizzle20. You can follow the show at CFB False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Give us a 5-star review because I only hate 5 things: oppressive dictators, being ad on Slack, wine, cheese in Texas, horns down.
That's right. Horns down. You get to do it today, man.
I do, man. It's just, I love it. It's I didn't know I hated Texas that much. I've never been to Austin. I'm sure it's a wonderful thing, but if they see red, I want to be seen red.
I've heard Austin is a lovely place. I've never been myself, but seems nice.
Seems nice, and you seem like a nice person. I'm really glad we could do this show together a
Dude,
couple of times.
I can't believe you just said you seem like a nice person. That hurt a little bit.
It's late. I meant it. I meant that it's true. I meant that it's true. But we got to do some local scouting report at some point too, because I saw some stuff over the weekend that was unbelievable.
He's seen some things, brother.
Yeah, you and I, we've seen some things. And when you stand next to Matthew McConaughey who doesn't wear deodorant, you smell some things because this is false start.